The Ladakh standoff between the Indian and Chinese armies remains unbroken. Over the last 5 days, India Today has set the national news agenda, showing you the standoff in full explicit detail. And now, we bring you our 6th set of satellite images from Flashpoint Ladakh. The notorious site of a brawl between Indian and Chinese troops is now one of the 4 India-China face-off points. Now, for the first time, there's clear visual evidence of the actual build-up. Take a close look. This is the Finger 4 area of the Pangong Tso in April. With only the Indian ITBP camp visible to the left, now cut to May. You can clearly see the prominent camp set up by the Chinese on the right. And increased forces on the Indian side on the left. A clear result of the early May friction. And as the month ends now, this Chinese mobilization hasn't pulled back. It's very important to note that while India has merely reinforced its existing position, China has actually provoked by setting up a new troop camp. China's mobilization across flashpoints in Ladakh has been conducted with signature deception. India Today has learnt that the Chinese army came in trucks normally used to ferry soil for infrastructure projects. China used this deception to mobilize troops towards the border. In addition, the troops sent were actually engaged in a military exercise on the 6th of May on the Chinese side, but were quietly diverted to the border with India. The mobilization was rapid, and making use of better road infrastructure, this allowed the Chinese side to initially be numerically superior. But the imbalance has been matched with Indian reinforcements. Indian Jawans and officers standing their ground unshakable. With Manjeet Negi in Delhi, Shiv Arun for India Today.
The Indian Army confirmed Tuesday that at least 20 Indian soldiers were killed in a violent face-off with Chinese troops Monday night, along the two countries' de facto border in the Himalayas. 3 deaths were earlier reported, but a further 17 troops who were critically injured died a day later. Situated in the Himalayan Galwan Valley, the line of actual control, a loose demarcation line, was formed after the 1962 war to separate Indian-controlled territory from an area administered by the Chinese government. Despite the agreement, flare-ups and tensions have been a regular occurrence over the years, with each claiming the side were invading. However, this week's incident marks the first military deaths in over 40 years of the two countries' border dispute. The standoff has intensified over the last 6 weeks, and a large troop buildup has been taking place for weeks on both sides of the border. Then during a de-escalation process, Monday's incident occurred, which involved a physical fight using stones and batons, but not gunfire. The Chinese government claims the Indian forces violated the consensus with China on easing the border situation after commander-level talks and provoked a physical conflict. While the Chinese confirmed casualties on their side but provided no specific numbers, Indian news agencies cited sources as saying 43 were killed or injured on the Chinese side.